Internship. It's the start of something new in my life. I'm scared. I don't think I can do this. I'm not confident enough. What if I fail?
Welcome to MCMC Terengganu State Office. It is located at Jalan Sultan Zainal Abidin, Kampung Ladang, Tuk Pelam. I spent 2 weeks familiarizing with MCMC and adapting to the environment while getting to know the people who works there. The office may be small, but it is filled with people with big hearts. And to highlight this, I am also the first intern at MCMC State Office. There are other interns at the HQ, but I am the first intern stationed at a state office. As I mentioned before, the first 2 weeks were spent on familiarizing with MCMC, in which I had to study 2 books. The Convergence is like a textbook of MCMC, and also the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. From what I learned, MCMC emphasizes on Section 211, which is on prohibition on provision of offensive content, and also Section 213, which is about content code. And before we go any further, let me introduce you to MCMC. MCMC is the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission. MCMC came into view after the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission Act 1998 is enacted. MCMC functions to promote and modulate the communications and multimedia industry in Malaysia, encompassing telecommunications, broadcast, internet services, postal and courier services, and even digital certification. MCMC Terengganu State Office was recently opened in 2019, and currently there are only 7 staffs, but they are in the process of expanding this year.
So, what do I do here? Well, I'm a journalist, and my job is to write articles and do mobile journalism. And the fun thing about my job is that I get to participate in site visits and also events. And although the medium used here is Malay, I'm a special case because I have to speak in English every time I speak to my supervisor, which is also the boss of the state office. One of my job scope is to write articles covering the activities done by MCMC TSO. And the first time I get to experience becoming a journalist was when I went to Kuala Berang Internet Center to interview the candidates sitting for radio amateur examination. Then, on Saturday on the same week, I went along with Ida to give an advocacy talk to the staffs from the Malaysian Youth Council East Region. During the talk, I was given the chance to hold the mic and ask the participants questions to liven up the mood. On the following week, I went to Tasik Kenyir for a site visit. The purpose of the visit was to look at the telecommunication and internet status at certain areas, and my task there was to take note of the discussion as well as produce a report later on. Then, in the afternoon, I went to the Tekawang Internet Center to interview the manager and assistant manager. I have to write a featured article that focuses on the entrepreneurs born from Tekawang Internet Center. Then, on the next week, I went to Kuala Berang Internet Center again, but this time to attend an event called Pelancaran Kelas Iqra Braille. My task there was to collect information and video to make a mojo. I interviewed the manager and the participants and basically acted like a journalist. At MCMC TSO, I learned to be well-rounded, as I am not just tasked to do journalism, but I am also exposed to a lot of other things, such as admin work and also auditing. When it comes to theoretical framework that I applied during my internship, there are quite a few. To name some, media writing is definitely the one that I use most because, as I said before, my main role here is to become a journalist, and journalists have to write a lot of articles. I also applied the skills I learned in English for Young Professional as I joined a lot of meetings as well as producing minutes for the organization. Integrative media was also used as I have a lot of videos to edit, and the skills that I've learned are basically very useful because I can apply it while doing my internship here. And another one is definitely critical thinking. When you're doing your job, there's definitely going to be some issues, and that also happens to me. So when I come across an issue, I would have to think critically to solve it as soon as possible. For example, when editing the video, there are functions that's not available, so I have to think of another solution as soon as possible for me to produce the video the way I want it to.
Overall, my internship experience at MCMC TSO has been really great. I've had a fulfilling experience while I was here, and my objective has also been achieved. I came here with the mindset to refine my skills as a journalist, and so far, I've learned a lot. Thanks to all TSO team members who have helped me adapt to the working environment, and special thanks to my industrial supervisor, Muhammad Fariz Muhammad, for guiding me throughout my internship journey.
Oh wait! There's actually more. So, to summarize my work at MCMC TSO, so far I have finished 5 articles, both featured and news articles. I also made 2 mojo with my intern partner, Ms. Farha, and I also edited around 7 already existing mojo that focuses on the interesting things in each district. I also produced 2 minutes of meeting and 2 reports for the organization. And for those of you who are interested to intern at MCMC TSO, I've got a few tips for you. Tip number 1 is to always grab the opportunities given to you. At first, I never thought I would be experiencing so many job scope, but yet here I am, doing so many more than I thought I would. All of these experiences are going to be really useful for me in the future. Tip number 2. You should never be afraid to make mistakes. We are inexperienced, so it's okay to make mistakes because we are gonna learn more from them. And tip number 3, be proactive, be quick, and be concise. Ask if you don't know, do your job, don't dilly-dally, and don't drag it for far too long. MCMC is a professional body with a fast-paced working environment, so you always have to be ready. I hope you're not afraid after hearing this because you're gonna do just fine. And just believe me, you're not gonna regret joining MCMC. And just one more thing. When I thought I couldn't do it, I was wrong. I was actually just overthinking it. Just believe in yourself and you'll do just fine.